Well, hello there everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm sure that you are. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about some movies. It's been a little while since I've done just a review on this channel. I used to review lots of movies. I guess I've done reviews, but just not of movies. So here's some. I finally got to see Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And also, I'm a week late, but I also got to see Thor, Love and Thunder. So let's talk about them, shall we? I'll give you my thoughts, and then I'll give it a rating, and then you can be on your merry way. And let's try to keep this short. I say that for every fucking video, and then I ramble on for millions of hours and seconds. More like seconds, million seconds. But let's just do it. Alright. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is a nice multiverse story centered around a family who's having some struggles financially and as just a unit. I mean, with their feelings and where they are in their lives. They have problems. They got problems. What I really liked about this movie was just the overall style and just kind of how silly it got, but also keeping like a nice heart throughout the movie. Performances were good. The guy that came back to acting, he played Short Round in the Indiana Jones movies, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name, but I thought he was really good. It's his first. I mean, he acted. It's been like 20 years or something since he acted, but the part just came to him, and he was like, "All right," and he accepted it, and it's pretty cool, and it's good. And the daughter was surprisingly good at first. I didn't really like her performance. I was just like, okay, she's given like a teen performance, but she really has a lot to do in the movie, and she has a lot of she has to play a lot of different kind of emotions, and she does it really well. And by the end, I was just convinced that, you know, she was this deity that had got all messed up and her mind just warped by seeing so many realities and everything. You know, you could really believe that. And then the main character, the mom character, her journey was really great. And I was sad that, like, throughout the movie, she is kind of just rude or dismissive of her daughter. And it really bummed me out. And I don't really feel like they completed that super well at the very end. But it did. It was fine. I heard that this was just like an amazing, fantastic movie, and it's really good. And I think it's memorable, but it wasn't like it wasn't exactly the heartfelt, powerful story that I expected. But it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting and unique, and which is exactly what I can say for Swiss Army Man, which I heard raves and rants about. And which is a really good movie, and I do like it, but the hype and everyone singing its praises, it just didn't kind of live up to that for me in that movie as well. The Matrix parodies in this movie I thought were really great, and a fun, interesting little thing. And it just does feel like a more silly Matrix in a way. The action was phenomenal. This guy shoots action really, really well. And there was a lot of cool stylistic shots and great visuals and really funny. I laughed quite a bit. So really good movie. I do recommend you watch it and check it out. And I hope it's nominated for Best Picture, because I haven't seen many other movies this year, so I'm interested to see what gets nominated. So yeah, I'll give this one a solid 8 out of 10. And now let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about Thor, Love and Thunder. Now, I don't know why this movie has gotten so much hate, and I don't even know if it's hate necessarily, but it's just like maybe disdain or apathy. Like, I just haven't heard much buzz about it. Like, the only thing I've heard about it is like some negative stuff about like the CGI and everything. And And I was watching the movie like, this looks great. I don't understand what the problem is. The silly floating head thing, is that really what bothered you? I thought it was just kind of it was a funny, goofy image in a funny, goofy movie. With a fat Zeus and like so much silliness in this movie. And I'm just gonna come out and say it, I really like this movie. And I think it's as good as Ragnarok. I can see kind of, like, I don't even know people's criticisms, but but my criticisms of this movie are kind of like, and it's more of a general thought. I've been feeling lately, especially watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then this one, like, back to back. There's something to say about, like, there being no more, like, serious movies, or, like, serious blockbuster movies. Like, the Batman is one that really sticks out, but it's, like, when it comes to Marvel, or, like, I just also think of like Free Guy and that kind of stuff where they're in on the joke. You know, these movies come out like, oh, we're self-aware, we know this is kind of silly and goofy, and it does work, but it's also like, okay, I know that you know that we're supposed to not take this so seriously, and I kind of miss just taking a movie seriously, you know, with like, that is fun and funny, but it's still taken seriously. Like, I think a good example is kind of like the Justice League movie, the Snyder Cut, which I thought was funny, but it was still like serious, you know? And not that that's like a dramatic masterpiece or anything, but and this movie still is serious, but it has that up and down tone where all the gore stuff, gore. I want to say Gorn, but that's like a VR game. All of the Christian Bale stuff, who, before I forget to say, was awesome. He's probably the best part of this movie. He's definitely the best part, and he's probably my favorite part as well. But I also love the screaming goats. They really cracked me up. And the whole intro, the intro scene was just, I love that. It's a really fun and interesting movie. I would say, like, it's silly and it's fun, and I just really like it. I don't understand what's so bad about it. Like, to go back to Christian Bale, who gave like an amazing performance. It feels like he got to play Batman, and then now he gets his Joker role, and it's just like, imagine being able to play Batman and also the Joker. Like, that's pretty freaking epic. Did I just say freaking epic? Yeesh. That's pretty great. You know, I can't think of any intellectual thing to say that instead of freaking epic or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of my nutshell thoughts about it. Gore kidnaps a bunch of children, and he kidnaps children and holds them in prison, and it's like, Thor's like, I've got to save the children, and it's very campy, but it's good and it works in a fun way. I wish that I could have taken Megan to see this. I ended up just watching it with my dad, and she felt really bad that day, like sick, and I've wanted to get her take on it because I think she's just the most general audience member that you can think of. Like, she likes everything that she sees, mostly. She has a basic job. She's like a teacher, you know, like a grade school teacher, kindergarten teacher. So she's like this, she's in this specific market of kind of people, like general audience, you know, who doesn't review movies or really talks about movies or thinks about movies that much after she sees them, or like the filmmaking aspects or anything. So I really wanted to hear her take on it. And we'll definitely watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus, because I actually really like it. It's probably the second best Thor movie, if you ask me. It's got good beginning, middle, and end. The character stuff is fun. The weapon stuff is funny. Like when he gets a new lightning bolt, there's just a lot of cool ideas that keep expanding the Marvel Universe. Like, if you think about like where the first Thor movie started at, it started as like a Lord of the Rings type knockoff. Like the second Thor movie has so much of like Lord of the Rings all over it that it feels so completely different than this cosmic space weirdo land that they ended up in. And it's so funny to see the just the change. And I'm on record, I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, so I don't really like those first Thor movies that much. I still think they're okay, and the second one's better than people give it credit for. It's not the worst MCU movie. The first one's okay, and all the Thor movies are pretty solid, but I still think this is my second favorite Thor movie, probably after Ragnarok. And it's pretty close, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really enjoyed this movie. So, I don't know if I have anything else to say. I gotta look at some reviews now of what people said and what they liked and didn't like about it. Alright, so the spoilers for the very end. Let's talk about this. Daddy Thor. That just said Daddy Thor. But yeah, Thor has like a daughter now. A niece. Kind of. She calls him Uncle Thor at the end, which is good, which is very nice because she did have a dad and she loved her dad, and he died, so she knows she has a dad, so she wouldn't call Thor her new dad, right? But Thor is such a tragic character. He's had like the most shit happen to him, and it's summed up really cool and funny in like those opening bits with like his brother like Loki dies and he's alive and he dies again and he's alive and he dies again. And his dad's dies, his mom dies, Jane's dies. It's like, it's such a interesting character, and they really explored that in Infinity War, and they explored it in Endgame. And Thor's just the best. He's like probably the best MCU character outside of Tony Stark. You tell me who's a better character. You got nothing. I mean, Thor's had just the most development too, because he's been in so many of the movies. He's probably been in the most of the Marvel movies. Chris Hemsworth. So yeah, now I'm just rambling. But anyways, I'm also gonna give Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I definitely enjoyed it more than Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I think just the story and the filmmaking in the Everything Everywhere All at Once is better, and therefore it, even though I didn't enjoy it as much, it still gets an 8. So yeah. Alright. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review, which will be of probably that Brad Pitt train assassin movie. So stay tuned for that. I love ya. And God loves you. Bye-bye.